front straightaway. The timer is about to start ticking. We're about to go racing here from Austin, Texas and Circuit of the Americas. One final time from COTA. Slow start here. Gary Wimble noses ahead just a little bit, but the green flag waves and we are racing. Everybody scatters. 2 and 3 wide. Ronnie Vidoc, a great run to the inside of Morrison. Crispin's going to take Jackson Jensen. 4 across with 2 ASM cars on the outside. Lena Chin and Zach Lavoie into turn 1. It's a pinch point here. A little bit of a lockup there from, I think that was Lena Chin or Wes Case, but through turn 1 so far so good. And down the hill we go. Alex, there was a huge discussion from race 3. Track limits. It's an instant DQ if you run wide today in this race because so many drivers did it in the previous race. They were told specifically what not to do, and the rules have changed for this one. They are no longer giving you benefit of the doubt. You have to stay on the bounds of the racetrack as we've got a good battle here. Morrison's dragging a bumper through turn 4 now, it looks like.
Yeah, and it's important for us to stay on the track and race within the bounds of the surface that we're given here, just like any other sport, really. It's no different to football or tennis or anything else. You've got to keep it in play.
They painted white lines on the track for a reason. All the drivers were told what the lines were. There's 1 car wide. The difference here is you have to gain an advantage for that to be a disqualification. If you run wide to avoid contact or because you've lost control for a moment and didn't gain, that's totally fine. Wimble leads into turn number 11. Hilo follows, then Vidoc to 3rd. Great run there as Curley tries to charge back past Adam Ulrich in the background, the blue on gold Corvette, into turn number 11.
Yeah, really great to see all those cars that we've seen have issues all be back on track with us. All those Corvettes are back there and charging forward from the back of the pack.
Eric Cattell side by side with Waldbaum. Look at Joel Morrison in the J-Swap S2000 up the outside of Lawson Crane. His first weekend, and he has gotten the baptism of a lifetime here in GLTC, racing inside the top 10 all weekend long. Keeps Morrison's position away from him there as Luke McGrew. We thought he would be the one to beat in this race. All his rewards weight is gone. He's been the fastest car on track in most of the sessions, but he rides 4th right now behind Vidoc.
Yep, and fairly new build for him, so possibly still getting used to the car, getting used to the setup and all that kind of stuff still. But Luke's an incredible driver. That car's going to be a real big force to be reckoned with for the rest of the season, I think.
James Houghton side by side with O'Gorman in the background here as McGrew pushes the issue now on, I think that was that Vidoc that he had just gotten by here? Yes, it is. Vidoc, he's trying to put pressure on. Goes to the outside at turn number 19. This is a very tight corner. This is one of those track limits trouble spots. Everyone stays in bounds there, and McGrew completes the pass very cleanly on the outside. Lawson Crane wants to pass, but can't get it done. Morrison, dragging the rear bumper, closes in 5th place.
Yeah, great pass there. That turn 19 is a tricky turn. It's a little off camber and can send you way off to the outside, way more than you think it could.
Lawson Crane now trying to get by the 99, who's slipping spots. Joel Morrison is right behind as well. But where do you go? You're boxed in here. Oh, spin and a slide. Tony Marchev gathers it up. He'll keep straight. Into turn 1, Crane on the inside, bounces over the curbs. Vidoc might lose another one here unless he can throttle down the hill a little bit more effectively. Look at Waldbaum back to the inside of Cattell, and the whole rear clip of that number 71 has fallen off right over Cattell's car. Will carry on. That might be a debris flag for now, but no longer is the drag flapping around on that number 71.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't cause any impact. Those are not really dangerous, I don't think, to have those bumpers out there, but hopefully it gets to a safe spot for us.
McGrew pressuring Hilo for 2nd. If he gets by that 224, Gary Wimble better watch out. McGrew beat him in the final lap in race number 3. Couple ASM on ASM battles here. O'Gorman towards Matt Waldbaum, and just ahead, Cattell keeps pressure on Morrison. Slide by Hilo, loses a spot to McGrew, and Lawson Crane in the mix now to the outside through turn number 10.
Yeah, it looks like Luke's on a charge here. He's up to 2nd already and coming for the 1st place, I think.
Cattell, big dive on the 71 into turn 11. He's got overlap. He's got position now. Great clean pass in the braking zone for a car that also doesn't have ABS. That was an impressive pass there for Cattell. Look at O'Gorman now side by side with Waldbaum. Slides in ahead of Austin Hurdle, who's going to go to the inside here, maybe take them 3 across down the backstretch. Cattell defending from Morrison. Vidoc defending from Cattell. Look at this down the backstretch. Battles everywhere, Alex.
Yeah, up and down the field we're seeing battles. This is exciting right now.
Into the braking zone. Hurdle on the inside. Look at O'Gorman leaning on the brakes into turn number 11. Well done there. Hurdle leaves space. So does O'Gorman. They get through turn 12 quite nicely. Good Cattell now up to Hilo. He's going to go to the inside at 13. And he's going to have overlap and complete this pass as well. So move Eric Cattell up another spot. That should put him inside the top 5 in this race, which would be a really solid run as we've got a full course caution now. And it is for, I think that's Matan Rosenberg in the 484 car, if I saw that correctly. So full course yellow, the field is frozen. And now, this is always one of those moments where you have to make sure you're not passing another competitor. It's very easy to miss a flag, and that is an instant DQ in Gridlife Touring Cup. So you do not want to have a position gained under caution. So hopefully that's a quick recovery. That car is stalled, but we should be able to drag it off track pretty quick and at least get a couple more laps of racing.
Yeah, let's hope so. It looked like it was an easy spot to recover as long as it's not leaked any fluid or anything like that. I imagine that we should be able to get going again. Yeah,
so again, that was Matan Rosenberg, who had a power steering issue in race number 3. You saw the smoke in the previous race. It ended up just being a frayed power steering line. As
looks like Hans is slowing down as well here.
Yeah, I wonder if he's giving. Well, I don't know if he's giving spots back or if he's. I'm not sure what's going on. If he's got a problem, but we'll find out in a moment. As it is the 484 of Matan Rosenberg, and in race 3 he was able to get off tracks in a safe spot, and this one didn't get very far. And you have to wonder if that's a different problem, because if he knew that it was power steering, he probably would have continued to drive it into a safe place again. I wonder if this is transmission or drivetrain related in general.
It's possible. It's also possible he's just being smart. I mean, if we've got a power steering failure somewhere and we don't want to be leaking power steering oil onto the track, so he may just be being smart and making sure that he's not dropping fluid onto the track, or it may be something more terminal.
Well, we hope it's not the latter, as the pace car driven by Charlie Enslin he's pulling double duty this weekend, scrutineering and driving the pace car. As the field slows up, this is going to give us a chance for a restart, and Gary Wimble probably looked up and saw those yellow flags and went, oh man, he had such a big lead, and now Luke McGrew will start right behind him on the restart.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate part of these full course yellows is all the hard work you've done to build a lead is erased immediately. Makes it more exciting for us, but it's a shame for the leader.
You can see the safety workers pointing there at what seems to be a trail of fluid out of the 484. So it seems like Matan just didn't want to oil down the track, which was very, very smart. You'd rather have the yellow than have oil on the racing line and have a real bad outcome because of that. So we're under caution, under full course yellow for the second time this weekend. And we'll pace around here about 45 miles an hour, and hopefully we can clear this up pretty quick and we can get back to racing.
Yep, yeah, hopefully that fluid trail isn't too long and they can get that cleaned up quickly. The car looks like it'd be easy to drag away, assuming it's not dropping more fluid as they pull it away too.
So resetting things for you, again, we inverted 11 drivers from our race 3 finishing order. Eric Cattill's up 5 spots from 9th to 4th, a really good start for him, despite having to kind of dispatch the rear bumper of Joel Morrison's car as it sailed through the air in the S's. He's up inside the top 5, and Lawson Crane sitting in a podium position here. If he could finish this out, this would be a phenomenal start to his Gridlife Touring Cup career. Michael Hilo dropped back to 5th, but he's still holding on very, very well for a driver that has never started on the front row before. And we're going to have to get a flatbed for this one so that we don't drag it around the track with that oil leaking. So we're under caution again for Gridlife Touring Cup race number 4. Our races are generally between 12 and 15 minutes, and just to keep an eye on how things are progressing, 8 minutes have elapsed. It takes about 5 minutes to do a pace lap here, Alex, so you have to hope that as soon as they get this thing on the rollback, we might get 1, we might get 2 laps, but it's not going to be a lot. And Gary Wimble has to know that and has to be ready to jump. If we do get back green, he'll have to be on it because he's not going to have a lot of time to defend.
That's right. He's not going to have a lot of time to defend from Luke, and likewise, you know, the people behind Luke. Eric Cattill in 4th, he'd be within striking distance of a restart as well, and definitely has the pace and aggression to make it happen.
And Lawson Crane, could he be a factor in this as well? All assuming we get back to green flag racing, which we certainly hope we can. I think Gary Wimble's probably one of 2 minds right now. Either he wants to go back green and hold off Luke McGrew, or he'd rather just have it stay yellow and pick up his first Gridlife Touring Cup win. You never really want to have him under yellow, Alex, but you take him however you can get him.
Yeah, I've got to imagine that his first prize right now will be to have this go green and defend well and keep the win. Second prize for him will be to finish this under yellow, I'd expect, and still keep the win. Nobody wants to finish second, and as you say, you'll take them how you get them.
Yeah, Luke McGrew, we mentioned yesterday, well, it's been 854 days since he has held the first place trophy in Gridlife Touring Cup. You know that it's on his mind that his teammates right ahead of him, Alex, but when the green flag goes, if it goes, there's no teammates anymore. He's going to be going for this. And we've seen Luke race so respectfully all week long. We know that's just how he races, but we know the aggression's going to come out a little bit just because that victory is so, so close.
Yeah, he'll do everything he can to get by Wimble, but, you know, he'll do it fairly. I've got no doubts that Luke's not going to do anything that he shouldn't do to try and get the win, but he will do everything he should do to get it too.
All right, so good news. Here's what I can tell you. We're past the start-finish line and no white flag displayed alongside the yellow, so we'll get at least 2 more laps, which means that at least one of those could be green. We'll have to wait and watch the lights on the safety car. When they extinguish, that means we're coming back green, and we do single file restarts in Gridlife Touring Cup. So keep that in mind as we roll through and around to complete another lap. 3.5 miles around here is plenty of time, so hoping that car can get up on the rollback. And once it's on there, Alex, assuming that trail isn't on the track, they should just be able to drive that truck right off, and we can get back to racing.
Yep, once it's on the truck, it's going to be fine. I think the X factor here is how much oil got dropped onto the track and how much they have to clean up. Clean up oil just takes time, unfortunately, and you can't have it on the track.
Right, and so there'll be, oh, there it is on the rollback, driving away, and you can actually see the line in the verge there, that red painted area. If he did a good enough, if he sensed it coming and got into the verge, then they'll just leave that. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any real concern about the fluid on the track, so my guess is it's just a case of getting these trucks clear of the track, and we should be good then.
So now the question mark will be, we will likely restart this time by. The question is 1 or 2 laps. I would guess 1, but we'll know right as the green flag flies. If that white comes with it, it'll be a 1-lap shootout here at Circuit of the Americas with 31 cars. So we'll have to keep our eyes very closely on the start stand as the field rolls back around. So Gary Wimble leads the way. Luke McGrew in second. That's Corvette. Then Lawson Crane's BMW M3, followed by Michael Hilo in a Nissan 350Z, Eric Catil in a Honda Civic, Ronnie Vidoc in an Acura Integra, then Joel Morrison in an S2000, and 2 more S2000s behind that, 1 Tom O'Gorman, 1 Matt Waldbaum, and then a Nissan 370Z in 10th place with Austin Hurdle. There is a V6, a V8, and 4 cylinders all represented in the top 10, all from different makes, models, and manufacturers. And this is a new year and some rules additions and changes, Alex, and I have to say I'm feeling very confident about how the season is going to go. The parity seems to be pretty good. This is a track we knew was going to benefit the Corvettes, but everyone else is so close.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to be terribly afraid of from this race, or from this weekend, I should say. I don't think you'll ever learn that parity is good, but you could see if potentially it was really bad, and I don't think we've seen that so far. So I think that's a good thing, and I think that bodes well for the rest of the season for us.
I think so too, and again, our next event is at the end of March at Carolina Motorsports Park, which is a new track for us, and it'll be an interesting race because it's a little bit different in terms of how the track is constructed, a lot more narrow, and certainly a lot shorter as well. So it'll be a very different style of car that would have the advantage there. But again, power to weight series, everyone's got something that their car has over their next competitor, but everyone has something that's worse than their next competitor too. There's really no 2 cars that are perfectly equal everywhere, maybe save for the ASM camp where they build those cars pretty much spec, and they are solid race cars.
Certainly they have a formula that they follow, but no 2 cars are alike. I would say every car gets built a little bit better than the last. As an old boss used to tell me, if you wouldn't do anything different next time, then you really didn't learn anything. And I think anybody who knows Andy knows that he's out to learn all the time and as much as he can.
I think that's a great way to look at it. And Lena Chin is driving the newest ASM built S2000 right now. Down the order just a little bit, looks like P20 at the moment, but her first weekend in this car, getting used to the rear-wheel drive platform that she's in this season. And this is a track that will take some tuning and figuring out. I think they were fighting some issues early in the weekend, but I think CMP, that car will be wrapped and liveried and ready to roll for the rest of the season as we creep towards the restart here.
Yeah, it looks like the starter has the white flag in his hand, so I suspect we're just going to get 1 lap of racing here at the end.
3.5 miles in our final race, 20 corners. Luke McGrew resides right behind Gary Wimble. 2 Corvettes lead the way. This will be a 1-lap shootout to decide it all here in Gridlife Touring Cup. Jeremy Swenson, by the way, down in 11th place. Remember, he won the first 3 races. As far as the weekend championship goes, he feels pretty safe up there, but there's still lots of shifting and shuffling inside the top 10 to deal with here in this final 20 corners of racing.
Yeah, I'm sure as smart as Jeremy is, he's not looking at thinking about the weekend championship right now. He's thinking about Austin Hurtle, Matt Walbaum, and Tom ahead of him, and seeing how far up the order he can make it in this lap.
He's got 10 cars in his windshield, trying to put them in the mirror. We come past, they start saying no white flag that time, so we might get 2 laps. Here we come, and green flag is back in the air. We're racing once more, and no white flag, so we will get at least 2 laps of racing in GLTC. Up towards turn number 1, look at Catil on the 224, sweeps to the left, Ronnie Vidoc follows him through, hurdles middle 3 wide there in the pack with Hans Horpedal to the inside, Julio Crispin on the outside. Turn 1 on the restart, a pinch point here. O'Gorman gets pushed wide there by Joel Morrison. Fair play here as we head down the hill towards the S's.
Yeah, nice clean restart. Looks like everybody is getting through cleanly, which is what we want to see, and then we can get to racing with 2 laps left.
O'Gorman wanted to go to the inside of Joel Morrison there. He pushed him offline, didn't push him, but had Morrison kind of shift his line a little bit because Morrison saw Tomo thinking about it here as he looks at turn number 6, 7, and 8 as a potential passing opportunity around the outside there. What a move there by O'Gorman. That's something that we've seen many times again. And up the inside of Vidoc. That's not going to work, though. Has to tuck in back behind the 99.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Vidoc didn't quite see him there coming and didn't leave the room, or maybe he was still ahead. But either way, they live to fight another day.
For the lead, Gary Wimble has it. Luke McGrew wants it. Cattell passing Lawson Crane for third. Get the hybrid racing EG. Bounce back and steal a win here from the 2 Corvettes. McGrew looks to the left, but tucks now in behind Gary Wimble. He sees that white and green Civic coming. This is going to be an epic race to the end here. Gary Wimble has never won a Gridlife Touring Cup race. For the 7, the trailing car, it's been over 2 years since he has tasted victory in this series, both of them. This would be a big day, Alex, if they could finish this one off.
Yeah, I can't imagine either of these guys want it any more or less than the other one, so it's just going to be an all-out fight to the end here.
And for Eric Cattell, what a race it would be for him to rebound after winning the 2020 Gridlife Touring Cup Championship, and then battling for the 2021 championship, totaling a car at Road America, building an all-new one in the offseason, coming back, running in the top 10, the top 5, and now he's in the top 3, battling with Luke McGrew and Gary Wimble. Wimble slips, McGrew is right behind him, Wimble stays defensive. Here comes Luke to the inside, not a gap there as they head into the carousel.
Yep, and this is all going to benefit Eric Cattell, who's going to be watching this fight and licking his lips as he's ready to try and join them.
Turn 19 coming up. Wimble stays track left to defend from Luke. Luke is so close. He sees the door open. He's got the 7 car to the inside. Door still open now as they head to turn 20. Now he gets back in line behind the 1. And this time, white flag is waving. 3.5 miles left here at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, I'm right on cue. Eric has joined the fight here, and he's ready to take it to these guys too.
Lawson Crane motoring up alongside Cattell as well. That could impact his ability to run down these 2 Corvettes. Certainly going to be frustrating for him to see those 2 vets drive away with the 137 up the inside, but Crane in his first GLTC weekend looking for a podium spot. And Tom O'Gorman is in the top 5 now after all of that, past Michael Hilo, and back into position to be top 5 here in this final race of the weekend. The 777 in the background will curb hop there. And Crane and Cattell door to door into the S's. Cattell has to give it up. Crane now to P3.
Yeah, and I think that little battle has kind of taken them out of the fight for first, unfortunately, leaving Luke and Wimble to go after it.
The teammates will settle it amongst themselves, at least for now. It's still a long way around. Crane slipped big time there. Cattell's going to try the outside. A little bit of overlap he had, not quite. And now O'Gorman's in the mix here, so Cattell, in the area where his car is fastest, couldn't take advantage of it. And now O'Gorman has both those cars firmly in the windshield.
Yeah, it really shows, doesn't it? Just one little mistake allowed Tom O'Gorman to really join the party there for third place.
Joel Morrison on the inside of Ronnie Vidoc at turn number 11. And not quite past him, but he will get to him. There's Jeremy Swenson lurking, by the way, right behind Austin Hurdle. The last time up the long back straightaway here. And Gary Wimble has a 5-car advantage over Luke McGrew. Luke's a little bit better in that stadium section. We'll see if he can get it done. Ulrich, Tyler Starr, Wesley Case, and the 23 of Brian Tyson all still fighting deeper in the field. Here comes O'Gorman up the outside of Cattell for 4th place. He's got the advantage here, but now it's inside for Cattell. The leaders, only a half a car length between them. Turn 13, the 7 sweeps to the outside. He's going to try to cross Gary over. There it is to the inside at turn 13. Here comes the 7 to the inside, got the nose ahead. Wimble trying to cling to it now as they hit 14 and 15. On the outside is Luke. Wimble defending, tight, and he's still got it. We're still door to door. McGrew gets back on the power, shifts up a gear. Luke McGrew has the lead once more.
Yeah, and I wonder how that's going to play with the new directives there. Luke was off track when he went by, but did he gain an advantage from going off track, or did he just have to respond to Wimble?
We'll find out in the post-race, but in the race right now, Cattell and O'Gorman door to door One more time here through turn 19. Tomo on the outside, Catil on the inside. Checkered flag is going to wave this time by. And for the first time in 854 days, Luke McGrew and the number 7 go to victory lane at Circuit of the Americas. Wimble, Crane, O'Gorman, and Catil, the rest of the top 5. Michael Hilo, Morrison, Vidoc, Swenson, Matt Walbaum, and Austin Hurdle, the rest of the top 11. Then Paul Curley from a long ways back up 14 positions to 12.